Hey everyone, welcome to Gray Man Prepping. It's Tactical Tuesday. We're going to talk about tactics, gear, and more. Mainly about more tonight, because tonight's topic is romancing SHTF. What could go wrong? How's everybody doing out there? I don't know. Look behind me. What could go wrong? And actually, I just realized something. I'm wearing my green hat from working out in the garden today, and it's doing artifact. Just let me grab another hat over here. Grab a different color hat. There we go. Woo. All righty. So, one quick thought, though, here before we continue on. And I'll probably bring it up later on, too. SHTF. They didn't want me to give out the secret. They froze me. SHTF, well, basically, back in the 70s, we came up with 4 levels of stuff. First one is just, major emergencies. Second one is a life-altering event, which generally affects a local area out to a region. SHTF affects the entire country, and TEOTWAWKI affects the entire world. Okay, with that, some SHTF events could be Mother Nature made. Okay, so get that out of the way, and let's go see who all's in here. Scroll back up to the top so I can say hi to everybody. First one in was CR, Creative Redundancy, followed by Uncle Al, Die Bullfrog 79. Walt Rogers is here. Phelan Clan Wolf is here. And Green Granny 2, Denise is here. And let's see, everyone talking. All the ads that are flying around. My ad ended just as I was starting my little talk there. The ads on mine ended. Let's see here. Idaho Garden Girl is here. Suburban Hillbilly's there. Oh, I missed Idaho Garden Girl. I didn't say hi to her in the chat, but so Suburban Hillbilly's here. Jay is in the house. Smart man. Let's see here. Who else is in here? Everybody's talking back and forth. Tibor's in the house. Lewis, it's the Marshmallow Man is here. Shadow Scout Sweet is here. Scrolling down. Brenda, 1900, Duncan 1900 Homestead is here. All the Things Acres is here. Mary Beth Smith has stepped in. Trying to catch up here. I hope I'm not scrolling too fast so I missed somebody coming in here. Everyone's talking back and forth to each other. That's good. Prepping to Endure is in the house. And I've hit the bottom. Okay. All right. Yeah. Tonight's one. All right. If anybody is not a follower of Corsair trainers, I was hoping Steve was going to be up here with me. I sent him the email this morning, say, hey, here's the link. Come on up. I mentioned it to him last night. I thought for sure it'd be here because he won twice last night. I think it was twice. Yeah, he won twice last night for the giveaways last night. Figuring to be back here tonight, try to pick up a couple more wins. But on Steve's Monday morning fireside chat and on some of his videos, he comes down on these ones that are, SHTF or TEOTWAWKI is going to be so great. It's going to be no law, stepping on my neck, and it's working do anything we want, and I'm going to be the tough dog on the street. And he kind of puts that in perspective because, Steve's a non-active duty Marine. Once a Marine, always a Marine. and he worked in the federal prison system. So he knows exactly how some of these guys are. And a lot of these ones out here, they're saying, it's going to be great when we have SHTF. We can reset everything. Don't realize there's going to be a lot tougher guys on the block than they are. All righty. Just trying to keep an eye on the thing. Glenn's in the house. Hey, Glenn. Caitlin Strain is here. Okay, so I will be interrupting tonight's stuff with at least 3 giveaways. Depending on how many people roll in here, I may do a bonus one if we get enough people in here. So what you may want to do is share it out on your social media, YouTube community tabs, wherever. Get it shared out so more people can come in here and learn some information tonight and put things in perspective. That's what we're going to be trying to do, is put things in perspective here. All right, so let me slide over here to this one here. Boom. So romancing SHTF. What could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Wow. That's like asking a loaded question. What could possibly go wrong? Has anybody heard of Mr. Murphy and Murphy's Law? All right, so let's take a look here at what some ideas I got coming up here. This will be fun. Just look at that picture, folks. Oh, yeah, that's going to be fun. Broken down cars, broken down buildings, crap, dust, dirt everywhere. Yeah, it's going to be so much fun. But there are some people, we're super preppers. We're going to be prepared. Bring on TEOTWAWKI. Yay, disasters. We're ready for anything. So they think. Both groups, so they think. And all I have to say is, say what? What the heck are you people hoping for? Yeah, Brenda has it. What couldn't go wrong? Exactly. Murphy needs to move out of Suburban Hillbilly's house. One day I will find Murphy and get even. Yeah, Jay, there's going to be a lot of you wrench it, but there's going to be a lot of people doing you wrench it, and they're all going to be wanting to fight for that that little piece of mechanical you're pulling off of there. Yeah, you're right, CR. Everyone loves it until it really happens. Then they're like, holy crap, what happened? I didn't want this. And Uncle Al's saying a lot of dead preppers. All right, so let me jump on here and go on to the next slide here. Hey, it could start off with an asteroid or meteor, meteors coming down or whatever. And no telling what it could be, but you're going to wind up, if you're in a city, you wind up looking outside, and this is what it looks like after a week. It's going to be like, oh my God, why did I wish for this? You're right, Steph. They think it'll be like a video game, like they're playing a video game. No, karma doesn't apply to Mr. Murphy because, hey, he says everything will go wrong the worst possible moment, and he says it happens to him all the time. All right, so let's go on here. San Francisco, burn, baby, burn. There's going to be all sorts of things just going wrong everywhere. If it is a really bad situation. Depending on what happens, what causes it. Hey, and years later, is this your dream? And a city that's being overgrown, in 10 years, totally being overgrown with weeds and trees and everything else. Okay, there's a couple comments in there. I got to go back. But Tibor has it. Tibor, I think Steve's gonna be right. It's gonna be fighting between the preppers and the gangs, because the gangs are organized. But that's about all I want to say about gangs right now. And Uncle Al's saying Murphy was a Marine. Yeah. And Suburban Hillbilly, you're right. Ain't nobody prepped enough for those pictures I just showed. Maybe there may be a few, especially like if they're totally growing all their own food, off grid, totally on the farm like my grandmother grew up on. They might be. Yeah, and that's the point, Jay. It might start off not so bad, but the people are going to make it a true catastrophe. All right, so Steve, you're here. Wayne, you're here. Guys, I sent you the link. Come on up. All right, let's see. Okay, that's the end of the slideshow there of all those nice pictures of everything going. Okay, so couple points that most people don't think about is when whatever causes the event that triggers a real, SHT event where government is collapsed, where government has collapsed, and there's it's going to recover. Government may collapse, maybe a short term, maybe take them 6 months to a year to get back on their feet, to get themselves organized. But it's recovery is going to it may take up to 5 years, 6 years, 10 years to recover. That is not to get back to the exact same level we're at now. That is to recover to a functional commerce-based society with a set currency and law enforcement out and about and doing that. All right, Wayne. One of the things that a lot of people don't realize that let's say something happens and oil refinement is down for a month, totally down, no oil being refined at all for a month. What is that going to do? Think dominoes. All right, it's going to cause a whole bunch of problems across the United States. If you're in the city and suddenly there is no gas, and there's and the government's saying it's going to be at least a month before we get oil refinement started again, how bad is that city going to get in the next 30 days before they get it started? And then another 10, 15 days for them to start delivering stuff. It's going to get bad. How many people are going to stick around in the city? And if people vacate the city, how many of them are going to die out there thinking they're going to, we're just going to live off the land, they're going to die? Or, if people start vacating the city and the city gets bad and turns really lawless, how many are going to want to come back? It's going to be a while before anybody wants to come back, and they're going to have to, the government's going to have to prove, whether it's city government, county government, state, or federal, that these areas are relatively safe to live in again. So now if, say, whatever causes it, all right, say the entire electrical grid goes down from a Carrington style event. We get the sun throws off a big CME, fries the electrical grid. even in best conditions, if we start losing the big transformers, when they have to haul in on a special low bed truck with all the 10 or 12 axles on it because it weighs so much, they order them now and they get them in a couple of years. And if those things are fried, how long is it? And if it's a like Carrington style event, just about all the major transformers are going to be fried. How are we going to deal it? And these guys are saying, oh, it's going to be so great. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. We're going to have a nice reset and stuff. Don't know what the heck they're talking about. Hey, Steve, I'm going to have to ask you for that little language break clip you throw into your videos, because we're going to need it up here tonight. Language break. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. The rural areas will not be receiving shipments. And it's really interesting. Some rural areas, when they receive shipments, they get, rail cars come in, or they get tankers bringing stuff into them of crude oil. Example, my junior and senior year, I was living on the north rim of the Grand Canyon, a town called Fredonia, Arizona, 4 miles from the Utah border. Another 3 miles to Kanab, Utah. However, 1 mile inside of Arizona was a big refinery. All the crude oil was trucked in. There was no railroad up there. It was trucked in. They refined the fuel, everything for the region. They were shipping fuel, processed oils and stuff down to St. George, up to Cedar City, down to Flagstaff. They were up there because the sweet deal they got from Coconino County, and the tax breaks and everything, and they were outside of city limit. They were in county area only, and so I mean, and they produced all the time, and they produced diesel, gasoline, kerosene, refined motor oils, greases, some greases and stuff like that. It's a small regional refinery, and they had storage tanks. I'm trying to remember how many it was. 5 or 6 big storage tanks of crude that they tried to keep full all the time. In case during the wintertime something happened, trucks couldn't get through, they had a supply to keep on refining for a while. So unless there are little refineries like that scattered around, we're going to be hurting. Let's see what we got here. Go back up here, see what I missed here. Hold on. Actually, a lot of those transformers are not made in the land of the Red Dragon. They're made over in Europe. Think of a certain country that is very good at building those type of things over there. Hey, you can type in Spanish. I'm not going to know what you're saying. Yeah, when things start breaking down, like Jay said, it may start out this level, but as everybody starts freaking, it suddenly rises to this level. Then all of a sudden, because it's rising that level, more people freak, and it just keeps going. It's catch-22, vicious circle. Seeds and food, yeah. Yeah, people will be stealing your stuff there. Hey, you dealt with the riffraff. Hopefully, all worked out for you, Barry, and you got rid of them. Yeah, exactly. Got us hooked on something, and yeah, we're kind of stuck on that. Just checking on the things there. The so if no, I say it's the grid goes down, and the grid is going to be down for several months to major cities. Yeah, they'll try to get their stuff up and going, but if it's like it's some sort of electromagnetic pulse from a CME, and their transformers are gone, most likely their generators are gone too. And it's so, can you imagine the city without power for 45 days, what it's going to be like? Your grocery stores, they're going to get hit right away. They're going to be looted right away. And once food goes, it's going to be ugly. And some of these idiots, I'm trying to be polite here, I'm calling them idiots. Oh, all right, Steve's getting coffee and he's taking care of the tobacco because YouTube doesn't like it too much. I went looking. I couldn't find on any of the rules and stuff where they said they don't want tobacco smoking being done on it. I can understand, not drinking it. I get them saying not drinking alcohol and tobacco just because they don't want kids to get hooked, do stuff on it. Okay, get picked up by role models. I'm going to drink tobacco and smoke too, and everything else. Drink alcohol. I say drink tobacco. Yeah, I want to see somebody drink tobacco. Jay says 2 days with people under 50 without cell phones. That is 28 days later right there. Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of we'll go. But see, I didn't have a cell phone. I didn't have my own personal cell phone until after 9/11. Actually, until a year or two later. Hey, Wayne. Yep. So, that's 21 years ago is when I got my first cell phone. And it's one of those little Nokia ones. The text, you got to go 3, click, click, click. And now I have, you got to click it so many times to bring up the alphabet. And if you stop, you got to go around again. I don't know. I don't think it'll be that bad for me as far as cell phones and technology goes. The other stuff is going to be bad for me. Patriot Preppers in the house. And why I'm thinking about it, before I get on too far here, whenever those that were had the survivalist level 3 survivalist level dropped off, there was only one person on that, so I went and go ahead and got rid of it, and I'm going to be coming out with a new video on what the 2 levels. I'm reorganizing what benefits are for the 2 levels for the channel here for channel members. Oh, man. So what actually, Wayne, before I hit you up with this question here, let me see here. I'm going to ask a question. Shoot, let me get this out of here. I forgot to write the question. I just wrote the answer. Okay, get back up here. Videos. Oh, now I remember what it was. One of my your prep tip for today videos since last Wednesday talked about growing something to protect you from a certain pest. What was that pest? First one in the first channel member to answer that question. Only channel members. First channel member to answer that question gets a $5 Amazon gift card. And watch it here. No, I'm not going to do it like Jeopardy, Kaylin. And let's see here. Where was it here? Okay, wait, I got to refresh that page since I showed up there. I know Garden Girl got it. Yes, it was mosquito. And what I was talking about growing was sage and rosemary. People use that to make incense or a spray to keep the mosquitoes away. So, Stephanie, get my pen here. Write that down. Got that one. Yeah, last week Stephanie won twice. Okay, so Wayne, what is your thought on these guys that are saying that SHTF or TEOTWAWKI is going to be so great?
Yeah, it's kind of along the same lines as what Steve's been saying. These people that think it's going to be great are probably losers that don't have a life, and they like to sit around and fantasize about how they're going to be great after SHTF or TEOTWAWKI, because they're not doing anything in their own lives to better themselves or their position. So they figure when everything falls down, they can just go around and steal stuff from everyone else.
Now, I've seen a couple channels say that's their plan. They're stocking up on a lot of ammunition and pew-pews so that they can go out and raid other people. Total scum of the barrel, as far as I'm concerned.
I just ask that they bring their own shovel and be kind.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Steve. How's it going?
Alrighty. Yeah, I didn't know if I didn't reply to you earlier. I didn't even check emails earlier. I was taking kids to sports stuff and doing all that good suburban stuff. So, hello to everybody. Yeah, so do you just want me to start now?
Yeah. Everyone, be warned. Steve is going to go full Marine on us and not pull any punches. Go for it, Steve.
Well, let's just start with that. All these people say, I'm going to survive the end of the world, da-da-da-da-da. And then I say, brace yourself for it. Then I say the word, fuck. And they're like, oh, I can't watch your videos because you use abusive language. But I'm supposed to believe that these guys are a bunch of tough dudes, right? But if they hear somebody use profane language, well, I want nothing to do with you. I can't deal with that. I was like, man, get out of here then. All right, because you ain't real. In the real world, people curse, you know? So then.
Oh, yeah. And it's going to be bad because there's no civilized structure to impose their will upon them to act somewhat polite.
Exactly. And then, you know, like Wayne was saying that I heard as I was trying to log on to this thing, and I'm just going to be rude about it. And I mean, quite honestly, there's folks out there in YouTube land that don't like what I say, and I really don't care, because 90% of the dudes that just focus on this TEOTWAWKI, this end of the world, this reset, they're losers. And they want to not be held accountable for what they did or didn't do. They want some magic reset button to be hit, and all of a sudden they're not a scumbag now because nobody knows who they are because everything's reset, and they can not pay the consequences of their past decisions. And that's it. And then they tell other people that, and they're like, yeah, you know, my life sucks and it's because of these other people. And no, your life sucks because of your choices, man. And some great reset is not going to make you different. If you're a lazy bag of shit that sits on your couch and eats Cheetos all fucking day, guess what you're going to be when everything goes south? You're going to be a lazy bag of shit. And the only thing
a dead lazy bag of shit. Yeah, because they're not going to
like that. But oh well. Oops, see, we lost Wade. Oh,
Wayne will be back unless it's his internet, because we're getting communication problems tonight. Last night too. But yeah, it's Wayne doesn't jump out of your live stream when you're talking like that. He's just right in there.
No, I'm just messing with Wayne. I know that's not on purpose thing with Wayne.
Yeah.
No, me and Wayne talk outside of this stuff. He's good to go. So I know he's not upset by what I was saying. But I know there's other people there are, and you know what? Tough shit, man. The 4 years I've been doing YouTube now, people are like, oh well, you don't know anything. Well, yeah, I do actually. And well, I had one idiot, I won't say his name. Oh well, how can this guy that lives in the suburbs tell us anything? Oh, I don't know. Maybe because I did a whole bunch of FEMA courses and stuff, and I did this, emergency preparedness stuff for like 15 years, and I've been involved in emergency response stuff for like 30 years. But this ass clown, he shits in the stream that goes by his house and sends the shit down to his neighbor's house because he doesn't understand the basics of sanitation in a group environment, right? But because he's got 4 chickens and because I know a little bit about his personal life, and he collects disability, well, all of a sudden he's a fucking expert on shit. I'm not an expert on shit. And if you start laying out resumes, mine's more impressive than his. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Oh, so yeah.
A dude like that saying, hey, I can't wait till the reset. All these great things are going to happen. No, you're a fucking loser, and you're not fixing yourself now, and you want some magic thing to happen. But at the end of the day, guess what you're going to be? A fucking loser robbing grandma of her fucking chickens because you were too lazy to get into your own fucking chickens. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's human nature, man. And all these people just want to blow it off. Like, well, I got a bunch of like-minded people. Yeah, and inside that group of like-minded people, you got 100 people, there's going to be like 4 douchebags. Sorry. That's human nature. That's how it works. But instead...
And you're going to have a couple of jerks in there that are going to walk all over everybody else.
Yeah.
Bullies, basically.
Yeah. But they don't want to talk about that because it's going to be glorious. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. Hey, man, why don't you make your life glorious now?
My favorite thing, people keep spouting off again and again and again. I live out in the country. I've got a dog and a shotgun. No one will come and break in my front door and take my shit. No, it doesn't work that way. Chances are you're going to be a target for sure because you've got no one to help you. Yeah, you're right out there in the open, buddy. You're all by yourself.
So I tried to bring this up in videos, right? Where I went and I got an example, real world examples. You could use South Africa, you can use Argentina, you can use Southern Mexico. There's all these places where the SHTF has happened, right? The economy has collapsed, the society's fallen apart. And you say, hey man, you might want to consider this. I realize that you got, 40 acres and a mule, and you and your brother can flink cans at 100 yards. Great. But here's what really happens, right? Here's real life examples. And then, that's not going to happen to us, and you're a dickhead. Well, okay, I'm not a dickhead. I'm an asshole. It's actually a title I have. That's great, right? And I'll be an asshole. I don't care, because if I can say to Bob or Wayne or Gil and say, hey, man, you're full of shit, unfuck yourself, and they do, and they make it through it, then cool, right? But no, Gil, you live in Idaho. It's going to be so great when the reset comes. You're going to have up to your ass and not enough wood.
Yeah.
And everybody look at Gil and go, stupid, because you should have more wood.
Do you remember when the Soviet Union fell to communism? You know who the first person, the first people that they attacked were the people out in the countries, way out in the country. They went out there and they seized their land. Anyone who didn't go along with the program was you dig your own hole. The culottes and all that. That's who they go after first. It was same in Cambodia, the Philippines, Vietnam, probably Cuba. I really don't know, but it's the people out there who were isolated and by themselves are the first ones that are attacked. It always has been, and it's not going to be different here. And now let's hope it doesn't happen. It's ugly. There's nothing good about it. But
true,
that's one thing.
And then just add in China, and okay, so you mentioned Russia, and now I'm going to say China, and then you look around, and we're in the middle of a socialist takeover thing that's been going on. Another thing I try to point out in videos, and people go, "Well, I don't have any idea," right? Yeah. So in both those situations, what did they do? They seized the means of production, right? What are the means of production? Your cows, your chickens, your wheat field. That's all means of production. So guess what they're going to seize? But to the guy sitting on the couch with his Cheeto-stained fingers, that's too much fucking thinking. He'd rather just go, I'm good out here. We got good people out here, and we're going to be good. Okay, well, what if I decide to get 100 dudes from the city and we come out there? You and Bubba with your shotgun are fucked. But then they get upset when I say that too. I'll give you a quick story. Buddy of mine, he was on the tactical team with me, all that other good stuff, right? Because we, and for you guys that don't know, I am an evil jackbooted thug. I am a popo, and I am proud of it, and I don't give a fuck if you know or not, right? Okay. So we're training and stuff, right? And I'm kind of telling him, hey, man, you want to put some stuff up and da-da-da-da. He goes, man, I'll just get other people's stuff. And I said, hey, brother, what happens when you show up at my house? And he went, oh, yeah, let me start putting stuff up.
Aha, the light bulb went on.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you're sitting out there and you're going, hey, I'm out here on my 40 acres and I'm cool. I hate to tell you it. Some of us folks in the city know how to get on your 40 acres, and I know how to get up in your house, and I know how to slit your throat while you're sleeping. And you say, oh, you're trying to be a tough guy. No, because I just told you I'll bring 100 against 2. It's called math. If all of us just have 6 magazines apiece, and we just form a little semicircle because we don't want to do the circular firing squad, right? And we all just take one side and we just lay waste to your fucking area while you're sleeping, you're dead.
Yeah. Amelia, he said popo as in police, not fofo.
Just for you guys in the comments that don't know who I am. So
yeah. I told him before you came up that you're a non-active duty Marine, because once a Marine, always a Marine, and you worked for the federal prison system.
Okay. I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
I wasn't working. When I said, here I am, that's when I was in there. So
yeah. The one of the things that you touched on, I want to touch on too, is that I've been doing emergency response and preparedness since 1971. I still don't know everything. I'm always learning. That's why I follow all these homesteading channels. That's why I follow Steve, Bob, Wayne. I follow a lot of people because you can't know everything. And someone's going to come up with a neat little hack for us, or something that, a piece of information. It's like, why didn't I think of that before? And you now add it to your toolbox. And so that's why I follow all these people, and because I'm always learning stuff about growing herbs. And I never even heard of a squash bug before, because in California we didn't have any. And so that's one of the things I'm getting, I got to learn. Fortunately, I found out that they're not around here yet, knock on wood. So there's a lot of things I'm constantly learning. And that's why I try to share everything I do know so other people can learn too. But you got these people out here saying, oh, I know everything. It's like,
I wished I could have recorded some of the information that my late father-in-law gave me when he survived the communist civil war in the Philippines. One of the things that I took away from him was, you live by the seat of your pants. That's all there is to it. You've got to be willing to lose everything and move. And one of the things that I remember very well is that whenever they put up a shack, sheets of plastic, you know, if you guys ever been overseas, you've seen how most people live. Most of the world lives that way. You dig a trench in the middle of the house that would also go underneath the wall and out to a foxhole outside. And that saved their lives 3 times. Because when the insurgents would come by and strafe the buildings, the kids can roll into that and go outside and get underneath the ground. That simple little thing like that is worth $1 million. I mean, I know we can't do that in our houses in the suburbs, but that principle of being able to quickly get out of the line of fire, he taught me a lot. Yeah. Someone who lived through it. And I would say, no matter what, be prepared to lose all your shit. Period. Be able to stay alive and be prepared to lose all your shit. You know, because if you get rushed by a bunch of people, you're going to have to get out of there and save your life first.
Hey, Joe. So I've got this. Joe's my second super chat tonight. Thank you. One of the things that now I'm not saying that where I'm at is perfect, but this is one of the reasons we chose this little community is there's, you know, it's limited access, and just about everybody here, not everybody, but you know, is of like mind. You know, most of the people here hunt, most of the people grow gardens, most of the people are self-reliant, canning and stuff. I just had my neighbor from across the street here, down here, Curtis. I've talked about him before. He was over here last night, and we spent about an hour or so talking about stuff. He wanted to see my indoor garden, and he's going to go, okay, cool. I'm going to have to do this because I just gave him an idea of how it works, and once he saw it close up. And, you know, there are so many things going on around here. The word's spreading around town. People are working on trying to improve themselves more than they were prior to the red dragon rearing its ugly heads a couple of years back. And so people are here, or you thought, oh, we're safe out here. Now they're realizing, we need to get a little bit more prepared out here because Idaho Falls is only 15 miles away. Okay, and let's see, I'm just looking to see who's saying what there on the side chat here.
Hey, so I'm sorry, I was answering Suburban Hillbilly on there.
Yeah.
So okay, I know, and I'm gonna steer the conversation for a second, Gil. Mm-hmm. I know I've been to some third world countries that suck. I've been to some places that are just really, really bad, right? Mm-hmm. And I know Wayne has. And I know Bob has, and Bob has family with direct, in our lifetime, conversations they can have about real things, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So why don't these other people that are the super cool kids talk about any of that? Because people aren't going to follow that. They don't want to hear the truth. So, Gil, I'll steal it for a minute. Wayne, Bob, tell us about shitholes that are actually out there right now. Because I'll tell you, all I got to do is go that way about 3 hours, and I end up in Mexico, right? And then go down another 2 hours from there, and I'm in third world shithole country. Yeah? Mm-hmm. It's there. If they want to experience SHTF, it's south. Just go south. It's right there. So, all right, I'll shut up.
A lot of the reservations in this country are worse than third world countries I've been to, and that's a sad fact. If you really want to see what it's like to live like that, go out, find the biggest reservation in your state, and go take a drive out there and see what they're not getting casino money and all this money to say they are. All these people are living in very poor conditions. Some locations have to stay out involved. And you go talk to those people, make some friends out there, see how they live, how they get by. That's a great way for anybody who is into preparedness to get a quick wake-up call to see that there's actually people in this country living like that.
Shitholes. I lived in one for over 10 years. When we first moved there, it was a nice residential area, and the drugs came in. I had to ward off 19 attempted home invasions. 19, and one was successful, and I'm lucky I didn't get beat to death. This guy was a career criminal. That's one place that I know of. And you go overseas, oh my God, man. Some of the, oh God. I remember one instance, I was in the suburbs of Manila, and there the garbage pickup's a lot different than it is here. They don't have big dumpsters. They stack it up, and then the rats get in there. And I remember seeing a child kill a rat, and he picked up that rat by the tail and he shouted out in Tagalog, "We eat good tonight." That's a fucking shithole, man. I've seen some stuff over there will break your heart, man. But shit, yeah, you don't. Well, I don't know. It just makes me kind of sick to see some of that stuff, and
that's the way if during SHTF, that's the way it's going to become in major cities.
Everywhere,
at least in my mind.
Everywhere.
It's going to start there and spread out.
Well, actually, historically, it shows you that starts out in the country and it comes in. You know, when everything falls apart, it starts out in the country. Maybe some of the country people will be able to grow their own food for a while, but I will guarantee you that they're going to lose all their shit. You're going to.
Yeah.
You're going to, because there are going to be bands of armed men, including insurgents, and the military. They get hungry too. So do the police. They get hungry too, and they're not getting their rations because the roads are shot down by people strafing the food trucks. They're going to take your shit too. That's called martial law. They're welcome to it. They have every right to take anything that you have. So I'd say that's one of the more important things is be able to get the hell out of sight.
Yeah.
No matter where you live, have some method of getting out of sight. Just because it's kind of hard for them to shoot you if they can't fucking see you and they don't know where you are.
Right.
Well, you have to have that mindset too. I mean, even today when things are good, and if someone comes up to my house, whether it's a delivery guy, dude selling magazines, pizza guy, because I've experienced that multiple times when I lived out in the ghetto in Virginia Beach. I always go around. I go out window or a back door, and always go around through your door. Especially now, we're breaking these type of break-ins that are happening now. These I forget the term for it, where someone just kicks your door open in the middle of the night and like 7 or 8 dudes run in.
Home invasion.
That stuff's been home invasion. That stuff's been going on for a while. When I was stationed out in Norfolk, out there, anywhere from like 8 to 13 of them. Father at the time in the sheriff department out there, and these are the things you think about. Have a plan. When you go deal with a threat in your home, what does your wife and kids do? Safe room isn't always the best thing because then you're trapped. I think safe rooms are stupid myself, but you always have a way out. Always have a way. Your wife takes a fixed position in the room with the kids with a shotgun through that door. And even if you think one guy is on the front porch, go out the back or something, go around, flank them. I'd make that a habit, because you're not just going to start when things get bad if these aren't already habits. Keeping an eye on where you go, watch what's normal in your town, what's normal in your local stores, your barber shops. What do people do there? How do people dress? Watch those people in and out of buildings in a restaurant. And start. These are habits that you do. Situational awareness. If you don't have the situational awareness to deal with this, if you haven't built that up, and just like anything else, it's like a muscle memory. You learn over time, and it becomes habit. And if you don't have that when things go down, you're not just going to start doing it when shit hits the fan on day one.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's another thing. A lot of these folks in their minds, oh, I can do what these other guys do. No, you can't. It's not gonna. The switch isn't gonna get flipped, and all of a sudden, you're at the same level of some Navy SEAL dude that you watch 5 of his videos. Or my favorite, you took a training course from him and he said, hey, at the end of this weekend, you'll be shooting at the level of a Navy SEAL. No, you're not. They're just telling you that to get your money, right?
Yeah.
And then besides all that, the simple question that you never hear these people talk about, right, is okay, the switch gets flipped, everything's gone to shit, and then, I don't know, take your loved one, be that your grandkid, your wife, you, all of a sudden you have a burst appendix. Now what? You know, and then, well, I lived 3 hours from the hospital and I'm going to live through the apocalypse. No, you're not. You're going to die. So get the shovel that Wayne talked about earlier, and as your side's hurting, do what you can to start digging that hole so other people don't have to do it.
Same with a gunshot wound. Have any of you? I've seen people get shot with an M16. Dude, I got to break out my 85-pound medical kit and all. It doesn't work that way. There is so much tissue loss from an M16 or AR. All you see is pink mist. Poof! If you can't get them to a hospital right now, and that also comes from my wife, who's a healthcare professional. If you can't get them to a hospital from a gunshot wound right now, they're going to die.
Yeah, if you can't get medical care in an hour, if they get shot in the gut or the chest, they're dead.
Yeah. All right. I want to thank you. Jay's a new member. Everyone give him all of the members give him a salute there. Throw out the emojis. I want to make a comment on a comment here in the side chat. I'm not going to name the comment, but Steve, what does Corsair trainers do with groups of people? And you post videos on now and then.
It depends what they want to do. There's a couple groups, a couple of them we don't do videos. That I teach all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's another thing, man. All this emergency preparedness is not a one-trick pony. So the videos I put out there is usually firearms related. We've done in the past self-defense using your mitts. But yeah, my thing is I want to take regular folk and teach them stuff. I don't have time for the I know I'm a GI Joe, because I really don't care. Go be G.I. Joe. That the Navy guy I was just talking about, that's what his place is for. He'll teach you to be a Navy SEAL in a week. And I teach people how to shoot for self-defense and concealed carry. And then we do some other tactic stuff, because you kind of have to know some of that if you're going to be carrying that gun on your hip. And we do this evil thing that I'm kind of on a kick now, because I accidentally watched some videos. We don't just stand there and shoot. That's how you learn. You stand there and shoot to learn. But after that, you do moving and shooting and finding cover and concealment. And the best one we do is we even go all the way down to the ground to shoot rifles and pistols and shotguns and all kinds of fun things. So, yeah, I teach that stuff.
Yeah, well, that's why I wanted, because Wayne mentioned before about muscle memory, and the point I want to get across is you can learn to shoot, but if you don't keep going to the range to practice that skill, to build the muscle memory, you'll lose it.
Yeah, and then I mean, I didn't even say anything when Wayne was saying that, because he's 100% right. If you don't have situational awareness now, which again, this goes into the emergency preparedness and the depth of knowledge that goes along with that, right? If you don't have that situational awareness now, it's not just going to come to you like that. It's something you have to actively learn. You have to become accustomed to it. And people just don't do it, right? They're like, whatever. I'll give you an easy one. The situational awareness, not staring down at your phone all day and everything, right? You go back and you start looking at victims of violent crimes.
Oh, yeah.
The bad guys will tell you, and the victims will tell you, oh, yeah, I had too many grocery bags in my hand. I wasn't paying attention. I had the kid. My awareness was not there, and they got up on them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I don't know. Try on the whole the whole romancing the SHTF thing, but
yeah, I want to take a thing here doing this giveaway is for everybody in the side chat and on the panel if you remember it. So in one of my videos, what did I say I buy for the grandsons? This video was within the last week. What do I buy for the grandsons? See who remembers that one, because I made a point of it when I in the video. Let's see who's smart in the side chat to figure out what it was that I buy for the grandsons. I don't remember watching here to say everybody scrap. What did he say? What did he say? What did he say? Oh man, I don't remember. Because actually I've met boom. First one in. Prepping to endure. Yeah. I get the, well, it's not string, but it's a sticks cheese, and sometimes it's string cheese, but the little individual packages of cheese for the grandkids. Because especially when they come over here, I don't have candy for them. I want something healthy for them. And like this week, I'm watching them from 2 o'clock until 6:45 over at their house. Every day I go over with a pack of one of the strip packs of the cheese sticks and string cheese and stuff, and say, all right, because it's a way to control them and help the younger ones get potty trained. It's like, you want this? Go sit on the potty, and it works. So P2E, go ahead and here. Let me throw out the. Let me put it up here. Banners down here. Use this email here down below here. Send me an email, and that way I can get you the $5 Amazon gift card, and because I need your email. So if you just say, hey, I won, and then I will get that to you later tonight from Amazon. And I already have Steph's email, so let me put it this way. So I'll write down here P2E. Okay, we're hitting that time. So I want to do one other thing real quick here. Another one here. I'm going to do a bonus one here for everybody in the side chat. On one of my videos, my Your Prep for Today videos, what did I say was my alternative to deodorant? Hey, Star, how's it going? So on my Your Prep for Today, I said, I told you one of the things I use as an alternative to stick deodorant and stuff.
You know who was a good guy to talk to about, I'm sorry for interrupting, is Star. He lives in a place. He lives in India. Yeah. Go talk to the people who live in Southeast Asia if you want to learn what real life situations are like. That's the ones you can learn from right there.
And Steph got it. She not only got the type, she got the specific brand. So let me add that down here. It's the Germ-X with aloe hand sanitizer. With that alcohol in it, you smear it under there. It kills all the bacteria that causes the stink. All right, so Steph. So Steph got 2 again. Gee, I know who's watching all my videos. It's Steph and Kaylin. And Steve. Steve won twice yesterday. Him and Kaylin yesterday won twice.
Well, to go back to the romancing SHTF, these people are doing it as a purpose to build up a channel and get a paycheck. That's what they're doing it for. But chances are most of these people have never seen anything go down really hard.
Yeah.
Never have seen it. They've never smelled blood. They've never seen it. And just, believe me, my uncle said he saw a movie in 1963, and I know. I stay away from those people, and I also stay away from the ones who shed the YouTube tears. Oh, my life is so miserable. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate the YouTube tears. I hate that shit. Unsubscribe. You're gone. I won't even give them a second chance.
Okay,
Life
hang
is
on.
so hard for me.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, Bob. If people are watching, folks, right, and in the last, I don't know, year, 2 years or so, they have not been totally squared away, ready with everything, then they're full of shit. Because if they're praying for SHTF and the price of an egg goes up 20 cents and their entire world is blown, like really? So let's just take the mythical SHTF and the power goes off or society collapse, whatever their favorite one is, right? You couldn't handle the increase of 20 cents in eggs, but you're going to handle this. And
Marauders.
A lot of those people forget that during SHTF, the other guys don't have to play by rules.
No, they don't.
Oh, and that's going to what you were saying a minute ago. I can't stand, and I'll just tell you right now, I cannot stand grown men, and I'm thinking one right now who let it out that he's the same age as me, never done a goddamn thing in his life, but his daddy and his uncle and his brother, they did some shit, so he's a Billy badass. Like, no, you're not. And the only thing you're going to be doing is plowing the fields for me.
Yeah. And some of the channels I've seen, I know are echoing bigger channels. And these are small channels. These are ones that have less than 300 subscribers. I see a video from it goes just out of curiosity what type of channel it is. Okay, not interested in him anymore because he's echoing exactly what somebody else said. Like Bob, he's trying to grow his channel, but he has no idea of things. All right, one more quick giveaway, and then we'll continue on with this. It's time for the members wheel. All right, so I just added a Star to it. I added Jay to it because they just joined. All right, and it's only 99 cents a month here. So let's find out who is going to get it here. $5 Amazon gift card. Okay, Suzanne Goulet. Has anybody seen Suzanne in the chat here? I haven't seen her. So we will give her a couple seconds just in case she's been lurking. I don't think she's here. Kaylin, can you check to see if she's in? I'm going to check something over here real quick here. All right. No, I don't see her in there. Nope. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and close that, and we're going to try again. Denise, are you still here? I know you were commenting earlier. Denise, if you're still here, say hi. Say I'm here. Say something. Let's see if Denise is still here. It's Green Granny 2. Sure if she's still here or not. Hey, Tennessee Bushcrafter, how's it going? She's not still here. Give her a couple more seconds here, and then we'll try someone else here. The wheel is channel members. Oh, you can't pop her up either. So she did step out. I think she went to bed. All right, let's try another one here. Oh. Okay, Steph. That makes you 3 out of 4 tonight. because I know you just made a comment here a minute ago. There she is. She's saying my internet has gone to crap. Oh, Green Granny just came in here. Okay, I'll give them each one. I'm gonna go and add Green Granny. Send me an email here at. Let me throw the email back up again. Send me an email and then I'll send you out 5. And Steph got a comments. There we go. Come on, comments. There we go. Okay. All righty. So and Denise as well. Okay, let me go ahead and drop that down. Hey, Denir, how's it going? One of the things that I've picked up from where I used to work on some of the projections and stuff. If we actually have an SHTF where even government is struggling for 6 months to get back on its feet, which means everything's going to be going nuts, and it's going to take at least 5 years to recover to get back to some semblance of civilization. The death rate is going to be astronomical. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the romancing dudes and dudettes that are pushing, oh, it's going to be great. We're going to be able to do this, that, and the other. My husband's going to do this, and my wife can do that. I have a feeling that they are going to be contributing to a lot of neighbors' deaths until they hit the wrong neighbor. And that's sad to me. That's just totally sad that you got these idiots out there who are going to try to who are planning to take from their neighbors. And people, maybe the neighbors immediately, but I'm going to go over a neighborhood or two over and raid them first. Good point.
I stay away from channels like that.
Yeah,
I just stay away from them.
And there are some that don't have channels that are that you see them commenting in there and doing it. And for the answer to the question that Brenda just put up here, Steve did some great videos on that, on the bad day series, and the ones where your neighborhood setting up perimeter, security perimeter, and everything else. Those series of videos. Go for it, Steve.
No, I did videos on that, talking about security and having to run shifts and the minimum amount you need of a shift, and how do you get sleep, right? Actually, there was a video I think I did called "Do You Sleep, Bro?" or something like that. Because these ass clowns, they're just going to be up 24/7, right? And I didn't do it on YouTube, but on the Patreon stuff, I actually broke it down and showed people this is a roster, this is a scheduling, this is how you do it. And then people say, well, how the fuck do you know any of that? Well, I don't know. Somewhere between the Marine Corps and then being a lieutenant and running fucking rosters for, like 20 fucking years of my life, I might have picked up a thing or two about how to schedule,
just a couple
security things, guard things, perimeter things. I don't know. I might have, but I don't know. I don't own a chicken, so I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Watch Bills. You're in the suburbs. You're incompetent. You're in the suburbs. You don't know anything.
It's literally day one boot camp. You learn how to do that.
Sucks, dude. Wayne, your microphone doing.
Yeah, you're going Mr. Roboto on us.
Yeah, there's something up on my thing.
All right, that was clear. Yeah, the thing is, for something like that, it's that's why you need to work with start developing your network of neighbors and stuff, and who you're going to trust. That's what Steve just said in the one video. You need to know who in your neighborhood is going to be the weak link, who's going to be the anchor, who's going to be the ones that are going to help and support. And basically you develop a core group, and everybody else is hanger-oners, because they're in the area. You can't just chase them out of their house. But you develop your core group. You practice. Practice is not, oh, we're going to go camping for the weekend, and we're going to plan this all out, and we're going to leave Saturday morning. Steve said, leaving at midnight Friday night to go practice after you've been up all day, and then you got to drive to wherever your bug out location is, and you guys practice. Oh yeah, that puts a stress on everybody.
For reals, when I was working and we would do these crisis management training. Wait, yeah, I've actually done some of this shit. We would have to leave at a given time, right? And then you had so many hours to get to where you needed to be. And a lot of times when we hit the ground, we would start doing stuff right then and there. Why? Because they understood that in real life, you don't get to pick when, where, and how shit's going to go sideways, right?
Yeah.
So, and then we would have to leave. You couldn't leave at a certain time because the way they paid us mostly at midnight. You had to leave after midnight. So say it was Sunday night at midnight. Well, that's when you could leave, right? And then you might have to work Monday. And tough shit, right? That's just how it works. We would be at work, and I'll vaguely say this, and you could be at the end of your shift and something bad could happen. And 4 days later, you get to go home. Been there many fucking times, right? Yeah. So when I get these ass clowns that ain't never done nothing, but their granddaddy did something, running their fucking, sorry, I got to tone it down a little bit, running their mouths, right? They don't know. They need to shut up. They need to find people that know. But they don't. And then they just echo what the other guy says. And then you get like the situation I did a video about the other day where Old School has this lady saying that, she's watched YouTube. And of course the algorithm gives them the echo chamber. And this lady wants to know what to put in her bag because her plan when SHTF hits is her and her kids are going to grab their bags and go off into the woods. She has no skills because most of the same channels that used to pump out bug out. Well, not a fucking one of them bugged out when there was a plague, when there was government fucking tyranny, right? Not a fucking one of them bugged out. They stayed home and said, "Can I have my stimulus check?" Right? You notice not a lot of people talking about bug out bags now, right? Yeah, because some fucking reality came in. But this lady hits the algorithm, and what does she see? She sees these fucking ass clowns that have no knowledge to back up a fucking thing they're saying. So she's going to take her kids and run off into the fucking woods. Yeah. And if I'm hurting people's feelings tonight, I really don't give a fuck. I'm honestly trying to burn my channel down because.
And it keeps growing.
No. And I'm just fucking tired of it. I don't care about the growing. I just want people to get the right information, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But all my videos get reported. All my live streams get reported. People go back and find my older videos and report it. Why? Because they don't want to hear this. What they want to hear is, man, you get you a case of Budweiser and your daddy's hunting rifle and some like-minded people. And we're going to take care of them city slickers and we're going to live through SHTF.
Yeah.
But, the trailer leans like that because you can't even jack the damn thing up, right?
Yeah, I'm going to go to the state park. Like Tibor's saying, I'm going to go to the state park about 6 months later and just start picking up all the cool gear.
Yeah, there you go. After they all starve to death. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. One of the, like with Suburban Hillbilly says, practice is great, doesn't prepare you for your real thing. Knowing it's a drill takes some of the stress off. Some of the drills that I used to do for different things, they all thought it was going to be a drill on one thing. And about an hour into the drill, I made it do a hard left turn and freaked them all out. And now I see everybody starting to freak. Wait. This is what we're not supposed to be doing. And it's like, shit happens. What are you going to do now? You thought it was going to be this minor thing. Now it's this major thing over here happening. This is what the real drill is. This is what we're really doing. seeing how you react, and they're all, yeah.
What I try to find on YouTube is some channels that can actually teach you something. Not fear porn. Do you understand what I'm saying? Somebody who can teach you, okay, here's a very important thing. Okay, there's a takeover, the fuel's shut off, transportation is shut off. Okay, the shooting's done. Now what are you going to do? Now, I learned this overseas. You're going to have skills to be able to sustain yourself. I've seen on sidewalk vendors, bicycle repair. Women who will go in their kitchen and cook food, and it's called point, where they'll bring trays of food out and sell different food by the plate. You understand? Stuff like that. You've got to know how to be able to sustain yourself after it's all fallen apart until it builds itself back up again. That's the kind of channels I look for. I've seen guys who are simply make a living by riding a bicycle down the street, and they sharpen knives. They make a living doing that. Barely, but they make a living doing that. That's after everything falls apart. You got to have some kind of skills to fall back on, whatever it might be. Simple stuff. I've seen shoe repair. I've seen watch repair. I've seen knife sharpening, vulcanization, how to repair tires. You understand? Because if all the corporations are gone, which is what, Ho Chi Minh wants, you're going to have to be able to be on your own, learn skills right now while you've got the time and the chance to be able to do it.
It's been mentioned a couple times in the side chat, but put it up there. Plant a garden now. A lot of these prepper things is, just get all your seeds and wait till it happens, then plant a garden. No, plant a garden now so you learn how to garden. You learn what will and will not grow in your area. Mm-hmm. And you'll learn that, wait a minute, all the seeds don't germinate. And all the seeds that do germinate, all the plants don't survive because there are pests out there trying to eat the plants because that's food to them too.
Plant some berries and trees first, because you're probably not going to get anything for 3 years.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's like the one video I did on my other channel, Camp Patton Family Compound, for those that don't know it. I did a couple garden tours of the house in California. My wife and I, it's been a couple decades now, planted trees, and we didn't get any fruit off those trees for the first 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And by year 8, though, we started getting a decent amount on there. Now, the apple tree, she's giving apples away all the time. She's taking 5-gallon buckets across the street to the horses and giving them to the horses across the street. And she's making apple butter and stuff like that. And she just has a ton of apples. And she has some other people in the neighborhood who are growing other stuff that she's not growing that want apples, and she trades with them. And then there's also, go ahead.
Mary Beth made a comment on here and says, and learn to put up food for long term. And, that's actually what got me to start seeing the prepper videos. Mm-hmm. Was I had my stuff, I got this, I got that. I'm like, okay, cool. Here we go. Party on. But it costs a lot of money to get freeze dry stuff, right? The stuff that'll last 30 years or whatever, or just buying camping food. And this is all the stuff I did before. I said, well, man, how did they used to do it before we had all this stuff? Mm-hmm. Canning, I remember that. And I start looking up these videos, and then, you start going down the rabbit hole, and the algorithm leads you here and leads you there and all these other good places, right? But if you're the canning person, then learn how to go do the shooting. Does that make sense? I know how to do the shooting stuff, and I know I piss dudes off because I don't sit there and get a 67 grain fired at this and goes that far. And man, ain't nothing but fudge to me, dude. If they're sitting there at a bench shooting rounds and they want to talk about all this, great, man, because in my life, I actually carried one, and I actually had to do things against other human beings, and I'm not just sitting here plinking cans. So that's why I ignore most of those people, because they're full of shit. But then somebody would do a video like Pepper Potpourri. I used to watch that lady all the time, and I wish she was my grandma, because she does stuff, and I would learn all kinds of stuff from that, you know? So you got to get out of your safe space. Ooh, triggering words. You got to get out of your comfort zone, right? And go to what it is you don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to say that, but people don't want to hear that shit, you know?
Yeah.
They want to hear, and not to be an ass to Mary Beth at all, because I don't know if she's ever said this, but you got people that go, hey, I got 300 cans put up. Okay, cool, but can you knife fight?
Yeah.
And by that I mean defend yourself with the knife. I just say the knife fight in a generic term, right? Because everybody gets what I'm saying. Can you utilize a sharp instrument to defend you and your family? Well, yeah. No, that's not how it works, right? That's like me saying, well, yeah, I just grab a can and I throw some fucking chicken in it and I screw the lid on real tight. And everybody knows about can is going, well, you're a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you guys say, oh, yeah, I'll just take a knife and stick it in them, it's real easy. I look at those people and go, you're a fucking idiot. Just like the FUDs that sit at a bench and they got the sandbags and they got their special rifle with their special scope and they do all the special shit. It's like, you're a fucking idiot, dude. When are you going to get to do that? Right? You'll be out in your garden and 50 dudes roll up. They're not going to say, hey, excuse me, it's SHTF time, and could you please assume your shooting position, and then we will line up and come at you, straight on, one at a time. But that's fantasy.
Yep.
Yeah.
90% of the weapons I've seen carried during martial law are pistols and knives. If during martial law, if you're carrying around your custom-made AR-15, you're dead. You will be gunned down right where you stand, either by the police or the military.
They're going to shoot you and take it.
Yep.
That's one thing I always recommend when people ask me about firearms. Oh, what should I get to defend my house? That's why I always recommend a 9mm first. Is 9mm my preferred caliber? No, but anybody can shoot it. A child can shoot it. A woman can shoot it. First-time shooter can get good with it. Also, if you get a medium-sized compact Glock 19 size, I'll just throw that out there, even though I don't like Glocks. You can conceal it. You can use it at home for home defense. Use it in your car. If martial law kicks off, you can carry that on you and conceal you. You can move through your house and open doors with it. Most people can't balance a shotgun and move through their house, pie around corners, open doors with a shotgun. That's a special skill set that you have to practice and learn, and actually go through a few shoot houses, do it efficiently. And one thinks, oh, I'll just go buy a shotgun. Well, what happens in the law and you can't carry that shotgun everywhere with you? What happens if you have someone inside your house, you're trying to move around corners and through doorways, and you can't balance that shotgun correctly or pie around corners with it? Like you said, pistols and knives, that's what people carry. When you go overseas and everything's illegal, people are carrying pistols and knives.
Or if you come to California, because we have to hide. I mean,
or if you go to Oakland or Stockton or the Haight-Ashbury district.
Yeah, well, in the Haight-Ashbury district, you just look around and go, dirty, dirty hippies.
The whole prepper thing is weird. I grew up wilderness survival was my thing. I grew up running around the woods and the mountains fishing. But, Washington State, Bob knows because he's from there. During the 90s and early 2000s, we get earthquakes. We get nasty winter storms that shut power off. Sometimes, I remember the storm in 97. We lost power for over it was like 3 weeks before we got power back.
Yeah.
It was November 97. We used to get stuff like that all the time there in Western Washington. And the weather's been weird lately. It's been abnormal. It's been coming back. Before we were getting nasty winter storms. We got like 3 in a row. And that's where, I've always kind of been an emergency preparedness before that. Because of that, and prepping, I guess if you every prepping, I was just looking into how to be more self-sufficient like my grandparents, because my grandpa, he came from Minnesota. They grew up in the woods and they were completely self-sufficient. I remember he always had a garden. We hunted, fished every season. Whatever was in season, we went and fished, canned, smoked, preserved. Grandma was always canning stuff out of the garden, the orchard, the berry bushes. And it seemed like he rarely went to the store unless it was like Christmas or Thanksgiving, or they were just doing some kind of special meal. We always had our own meat and everything else. So I was just looking up how to be more sufficient, like my grandparents and stuff. And because I think ultimately that's the way to go, is to live like that.
Dioris, thank you.
And this whole thing is just crazy. What it's turned into. I mean, you can't even hardly find any decent channels on YouTube. It seems like the only ones that get out there are just the ones that are all just trying to sell you something.
All right. There is someone else. Jay made a snide comment. Jay, this is for you. Hey, the Cutlass, the Cyrus B. Allen Cutlass. But then they got modern ones now, where they're mounting knives to weapons in different pistols in different ways. It's not that strange, but they're out there. But these, this one here was common on a lot of the sailing ships. They would shoot and then they'd start slashing because it was a single shot. It was a single shot.
There's a blunderbuss. They used to make like deck axe blunderbuss combos. Those are pretty cool for fighting shipboard.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Shadow over there is talking about how strict the gun laws are in Sweden, but he was also on one of his lives. He's showing a spear he wants to get. And I think that's a good idea. Also, you ever take Arnis or Eskrima lessons and learn how to use a stick and knife? If you can find someone who can teach you that somewhere near your place, take it. Take it. Because you can use a shovel handle like this and you can break a man to pieces with this fast. You shatter his hands. But
I have several extra pickaxe handles around here.
Well, yeah,
nice piece of hickory.
Those are good, but this goes back to like 9mm, like Wayne was saying. Something like this, your wife can swing this, your kids can swing this. I know that.
Yeah, I know. Not everybody's wife is like mine. She gets out there with a pickaxe and digs in the garden. She swings the pickaxe with the axe with a metal head on it. So.
Arnis Eskrima is just for practice. It gets you in good shape and it teaches you a few footwork methods, how to avoid a strike. That's what it's for.
I used to train out of Atlantic out there, and they're mixed martial arts school. The instructors are all Filipinos, so on Saturdays on open mat they do Arnis and stick fighting, and it was cool because we'd have some days where we'd apply it to blades and other things.
Yeah, but basically, what food and water, get it stored away, and probably as much as you can, more than one location, so you not all your eggs in one basket, and a way to protect it and your family, more than one way, layers of it, layers of being able to see someone coming or hear them coming before they get to you. Pistols, practice, man. You've got to practice with them. I got a ton of empty brass I need to sell off upstairs because we still practice.
Okay, P2E, I did not see that. I missed that. The winner after you was Steph, Idaho Garden Girl. So I will make a note here to send it to give it to Idaho Garden Girl. The winner after you. So I know Steph needs some stuff up there on her place.
I think one of the best weapons people can get is a rough hand. Everyone in America is swinging.
A what?
A roofing hatchet. Just a long roofing hatchet. The hammer,
A roofing hatchet?
Yeah, shingle hatchet. I
Wayne,
carried
your
that one.
sound is way messed up, dude.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Now, see, that right there was good.
Mhm.
Okay, so if you're gonna get a tool, right? And note I said tool, and you're gonna try to start to learn how to defend yourself or whatever. I'm not talking about just these, right? Get a knife. Everybody understand how a knife works. If I take a knife out and I point it at you, you have probably been cut at some point in your life, and you know what it feels like, and you know what the pain is. A lot of times pulling a knife on somebody besides a stick or a gun is more scary because they know what a knife can do, because they've cut a finger, they've
Yep.
done something, right?
Yeah.
And in most places you can carry a knife. Even here in California, I got mine right here that's always on me. It's just I can go pretty much anywhere, and if I can't, in most cases, if I can't, then it's probably like, oh, I don't know, freaking Disneyland or something, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times if they say you can't take it and there's not a metal detector, I just drop it in my pocket so they can't see the clip, you know? But yeah, start with that, man. That's something everybody can use. Everybody knows how to do it. And then to go with what Bob was saying, the next thing is a freaking stick. Everybody knows how to hit somebody with something. I mean, it's just right?
Yeah.
Everybody can do it. So if you have no skills, no knowledge, no nothing, figure out how to use a knife. And a knife's good and bad. It's put in, take out, repeat as necessary. Right?
Or like one of the guys I went to the academy with, he was a martial arts instructor and everything. He says, like a little knife like that, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts.
No,
you just don't. But
no,
I mean,
I spent, and I don't like bragging about myself. I spent a lot of time in prison, and I've seen a lot of people killed. And this doesn't kill people. This disfigures people. This fucks people up. This gives them scars, right? They'll go take a rat and they'll open up their face for them, all that good stuff. You won't kill somebody. You put it in, you take it out, you put it in, you take it out, you repeat as necessary.
Singer sewing machine.
And when you do it with whatever you got, and remember, I've seen dudes killed with crude weapons. Yeah. So if you have a decent weapon, it would be much easier. Put it wherever the bones cover something. And there's your knife fighting 101 class right there. And here's another reason I make people mad, because when I teach martial arts classes, they'll say stuff like Gil did. Wait, Gil's over there. And I'll just say, no. I got this odd word that falls out of my mouth. No. And I'm telling you, creative redundancy of shank. I've seen more than my fair share of dudes killed with crude weapons. I've seen one guy had a 45-pound weight, the wheel looking ones, the plate slammed into his face by a dude that could lift a whole lot of weight himself. Dude didn't die. I've seen little tiny people take a sharpened piece of steel and insert it in people and die. So, and that's some of the.
I'm going to show something here for you, Steve. These are supposedly pictures from prison, confiscated at prisons, the different knives.
I can't really see all of it, but yeah, I have a collection somewhere here in the house. And no, we haven't unpacked for moving, and we moved 2 years ago. So shut up. Yeah, those are all the ones. The one with the black handle, that looks like something. You go in the middle there.
In the middle here?
No. Go over. I can't point to it. There's the picture. See the one with the white, blue, and red flag behind them? Just to the right of that.
Oh, just right at that. Okay, yeah.
Now, see, that's a good one right there. That's some quality stuff. I would congratulate the craftsman of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. The second picture up there on the top row that's like grayish or whatever. Go over one more. There you go. That's what you see a lot of. Seen people killed with those. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have thermal sights on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, John's Life, welcome in. Now, John's Life says a full tang screwdriver.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. If somebody's coming at you with a screwdriver, be worried.
Yeah.
Your box cutter, I'd rather fight you with that box cutter than you come at me with the screwdriver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because, I mean, I'm already ugly as fuck. All you're going to do is make me uglier with that box cutter. But you start putting that screwdriver in me, nah, it's not good.
Thank you, Dioris. Yeah, there's yeah, this one here. I mean, just looking at all the different ones. There it looks like there's a couple toothbrush
Well, yeah.
pokers, down in here on this one here.
Mm-hmm.
There's also the misconception. No, I always go for the throat. Dude, that target is only this big. Okay? The guy's not going to stand there and let you do it. But you know what? His torso is this wide. Go up underneath his fucking ribs. Stab him in the liver.
Well, I mean, honestly, I seen a dude throat slit, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got him into medical, and we were interviewing him, right? Hello, Vanessa. We were interviewing him, and he would turn his head to talk to one of us, and it would go like that, and we go, "Hey, dude, put your head back." And he'd put his head back straight. We're like, "Don't move. Yeah, don't do that again."
Mm-hmm.
But people with no real knowledge of this subject, going back to the theme for this evening, that have no real knowledge and they live in a fantasy world of, I'll just come up behind you, pull your head back, slit your throat, right? They've never seen it done. I've seen dudes with all kinds of cut up throats with box cutters and sissy shanks. That's what the toothbrush is called, right? No, that's not how you kill somebody. But they'll tell you this is how you do it. No, motherfucker, and you don't know because you've never seen it done, or you've never had nobody try to do it to you, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Steve might know what I'm talking about. One of the videos that comes. Can you hear me now?
Try it again.
Can you hear me?
Still kind of roboto.
I don't know what the deal is with this.
Now that came out clear.
So, one of the best videos I've seen, Steve's probably seen the same one, was with an ex-British SAS paratrooper from World War II. Commando fighting, killing Nazis. What they did versus what the movie's shown. It's a thing on YouTube with this old World War II vet just talking about how they used to sneak up on guys on post and take care of them. And it was actually really enlightening on the subject. And I wish I knew the name of the video.
I'll
I
jump
think
in.
like Steve said, they were trained and practiced to do that type of work.
Yeah.
It's not like the rest of us that haven't had specific training and practicing with a rubber knife. The practice to get everything just right, time and get that muscle memory down.
Well, the fact of the matter is that most people have never seen another man die by violence. Most people have not, and they're the experts. Bullshit. Once you see that, you don't want to see it again. You're not. It's not something that you're going to seek out to. I don't know what else to say. If you see someone who's killed by violence, it's fucking ugly. There's nothing good about it. Nothing good about it, either by gunshot or anything.
If you've heard another man scream for his mommy while he's fucking dying, then you wouldn't be sitting here in this SHTF romance fantasy.
No, not at all.
I mean, quite honestly, there's too many of them. And for good, bad, or other, I've heard men crying for their mother. Dudes that are way tougher than I'm trying not to say a list of names of channels on YouTube that piss me off, that pound their chest, they put a plate carrier on, they walk to their fucking mailbox and tell you they're ready for war. And these motherfuckers have never heard a for real scare the shit out of you if you've seen them in, I don't know, fucking Walmart, and you just piss yourself going, hey man, that dude's a scary dude. Hearing a dude like that scream for his mama when his life's being taken makes you realize you don't want to live in a situation where violence like that is common. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was a deputy sheriff, I mean, I don't know what it was. We had an area that was called West Pittsburgh, and then they changed the name to Bay Point. The sheriff's department, still called it. When they changed to Bay Point, we started calling it Gunpoint. It had one of the highest, dead bodies things around, and it was like some of the, it's stuff I wish I could forget. A 17-year-old kid putting a 410 shotgun to his chest, and then all the powder goes in, all the explosive energy goes in, and then the organs start bubbling back out that hole.
Well,
totally.
The truth, honestly, is when you see people die by violence and seen starvation en masse, which I've seen both, and these people just can't wait for the day that the shit hits the fan and we will be free. Stay away from a fucking idiot like that, because that's what they are. They're a fucking inexperienced idiot. Poverty and starvation has even a smell to it. There's nothing good about it.
Here's one that I always get caught up in. Hey, man, if I see little kids and I can help them, I'm going to help them. And these people that tell you that they are morally superior to you because of whatever their belief system is, and, that's all great and blah, blah, blah. And then they'll spend, 10 minutes on YouTube telling you that they're going to let little kids starve because it could be a trap. Well, figure out if it's a trap or not. If it's a trap, tell them to go fuck off. But otherwise, hey man, if the neighbor's kid over there comes over, right, things gone bad, and that little 7-year-old girl walks over and says, I'm hungry. Hey man, I'm going to give her some fucking food because I'm not a goddamn douchebag.
I've done that. I've done that overseas, dude.
Am I going to give up my last peanut butter and jelly sandwich and starve my family? No, but you know what? We're going to split off an extra piece of that peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So that's a pretty good indication to me of dudes that are full of shit, and we'll say gals, so we can be politically correct, that are full of shit when they just say, oh yeah, man, I'm just going to let a little kid starve when you could feed them. Now, am I going to set up, out here on the freeway, am I going to set up a fucking thing for refugees and pass out all my food? No, man. But if my neighbors are fucking dead and their kids standing there fucking starving, I'm not going to go, well, my shit's just for me. Because I pointed out in a video early on when I started doing these things, hey, man, what if that's your fucking kid? What if that's your kid stuck at college? What if it's that your kid and you're dead? And your neighbor just goes, well, I'm just going to watch that kid fucking die.
Yeah. Yeah, if their family's dead and that kid's an orphan out there, I know my wife and I will probably just take them in and, and to work with them and teach them and try to train them to be able to help out in our survival as well, so we can work as a unit. Teach them how to work in the garden, teach them how to sew clothes, so start teaching them.
Well,
adopt them and teach them.
I've had that circumstance more than once overseas. I'm hungry. A little girl, dude. I was sitting outside of a 7-Eleven, luxuriously smoking my Marlboros and drinking a can of San Miguel, and a little girl came up to me, street girl. I'm hungry. What the fuck do you think I did? Went to the 7-Eleven, and she had 2 other kids with her. They were street kids. They're starving. I took them in there, let them select what they want. And the armed guard at the door and the cash register operator were watching them close so they don't take, they've seen shit go down. I fed them. I've had it happen to me. more than once. I've seen handicapped people overseas. They're fucking hungry. I'll go buy them some Jollibee, hand it to them, and keep walking.
Yeah, exactly. And these guys on YouTube that say all this other craziness. Yeah, cool, man. You know what? Maybe that kid is a setup, but maybe you go over there and the ones using the kid for a setup, well, you shoot them in the fucking face and take that kid. You know, because it's SHTF. We can do these things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe you go over there and you say, hey, man, these people are using this kid as bait. That's fucked up. That's not right. And then you go shoot them in the face and, you know, well, leave one of them kind of all right so they could dig the hole because I'm getting old and fucking lazy. I'm not digging the hole. And then take that kid and show that kid what's right in life, man. But too many of these fake frauds foster con men because it sounds cool. I'm going to let everybody else fucking die. Yeah, well, that's because you're a... Never mind. I'm going to start cursing even too much for Gil.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, because they're going to be able to stab you in the back if you're an asshole.
Yeah. Wrong one. It just jumped a bunch here. There's the comment I want to put up with. Yeah. And that's one of the things that my wife and I have put away. We, you know, even though the youngest grandson right now is 3, but we still have infant diapers and stuff. We're not giving them away. We're keeping them because we never know, what's going to happen in the future. Whether the boys will suddenly find a woman that wants them and start popping out babies, or things get bad and all of a sudden we wind up with an infant, you know, rescuing an infant for a while.
Star right there made a comment. When I'm overseas, I'd never give out money. Never. I give food. I never give money. I might not, well, I take that back. I have a few times, just a few coins, but it's, you got to be real damn careful when you're in Mindanao. You got to be really careful. I've given food, I don't know how many times on Luzon and in Mindanao and in Cebu. I'll do that without any problem at all.
Yeah.
But here, it depends. A child, yeah, I'd probably feed a child. But if all of the neighbors come across to my house all at once and they're looking for food, they're not going to get a real warm reception.
Well, yeah, it's going to be warm lead.
There's some security things you have to take in mind in all of this, right?
Yeah.
But everybody knows the dudes I'm talking about. And if you don't know the dudes I'm talking about, then you probably should find a mirror and take a good look, you know? Because if you're not understanding that you're not a moral, upstanding human being, if you're just going to stand there and not even try to figure it out, just be like, fuck that kid, let him die, then the rest of your existence as a human being is a fucking fraud, you know? Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to avoid it, but I'll just fucking say it. If you're running around with one of the books in your hands saying that you're morally superior to others and then bragging you're going to sit there and watch a child fucking die, man, just go fuck yourself, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the channels I stay away from. The ones who are full of braggarts, boastful people. I don't gravitate towards those people in real life, neither do I in YouTube. I try to go to channels that can actually teach you something. Period. That's what I try to gravitate towards. Somebody who can teach you some skills, teach you how to protect your place, protect your family, what to store, how to store it. And I'm just now getting into gardening. It's a new phase in my life right now. I haven't done any gardening in 15 years. But
yeah, it's one of the things that I it just chaps my hide to hear somebody say, "Don't worry about planting a garden now; just have all the seeds ready."
no, you got to practice with that stuff. Because
It's like
example of
any skill, you got to practice.
I got 4 rhubarb plants. Only one of them is growing. If you're putting those rhubarb plants away for SHTF, well, guess what, buddy? You're hungry. You're hungry. That's a perfect example right there.
Yeah. And now that shows you that you need to stock up more rhubarb seeds, doesn't it? Because it has a low germination rate.
Yep.
Now with my Swiss chard, it's got a high germination rate. Every little seed, what looks like a seed, is actually a pod with 3 seeds in it, and every one of them, I've gotten 2 or 3 seeds, 2 or 3 plants to germinate out of it. So I know I don't need a lot, but my wife gave me big old bags of Swiss chard, so we're set for Swiss chard.
Yeah, I'll go back to saying it again. The people who are the big mouths have never seen it. They've never seen it. They've never done it, and just unsubscribe or just go on. Get away from me.
Yeah. One of the things I like to tell people usually when I'm talking to them face to face, it's like, yeah, I know a lot. I know enough to know I don't know enough.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to learn more. Have friends call.
They're too drunk to care about baby. Come and get them.
Here, let me put that up there. I was looking at the same one. To care for their babies, come get them for the night.
That's yeah. That's lovely, people.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the reasons I've been doing the garden thing. And people are like, why are you talking about gardens? Because I'm learning something new.
Something new.
Because I don't know that. I don't come from that,
Yeah.
So I'm learning something new. And then, well, if I'm telling other folks they need to learn something new, then I probably should be learning something new myself, right? Because I had people ask me, why do you keep doing gardening videos? Gardening's not your thing. You're not a gardener. Hell no, I'm not. But I'm learning something new. Yeah. And folks that have followed the channel, most people get a kick out of it because I ain't got a fucking clue what I'm doing. So, and
we're proud of you for doing it.
But I'm trying to show that, like, I'm getting out of my comfort zone. So when I tell other people, get out of your comfort zone, and wrapping into tonight's conversation, if your comfort zone is the fantasy, get out of it. Get out of it. Go Google, I don't know, starvation. Go Google freaking combat. Go Google these things. You got this device in front of you, and ingest some reality, And then you look at these dudes and go, hey man, you're full of shit, but you're selling me something, or you're getting your little kickback from YouTube from making your silly little videos and telling us that we're all cool. And Tibor has the best reason to watch my channel. Put it up there. Put it up there. Gail, put it up. You better put it up there, Gail. Reason number 1, right there. Oh, yeah.
More bad words. I already know all the bad words.
I worked construction for a while, and the ones in construction that knew all the bad words were the mechanics that worked on the equipment. And turned out most of them were in military service beforehand, where they learned how to work on equipment.
Oh yeah, my wife has to walk away when I'm repairing something because I was a mechanic. Was a mechanic my whole life. I don't mean none of it, but that's just what we do. You shit stained motherfucker! God damn it, I would piss. I'd piss in your. That's just how we are. And another mechanic working next to me hears that and just goes, "Yeah, well, that's just how we are. That's what we do."
Yeah,
it's just how I talk. I've always talked like it. I've always I can use the F word in every sentence. doing that as a kid and then going into the Corps, that didn't help because that's how you talk. And then going from the Corps into prison, that didn't help because that's how you talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So Barry here has a good point. You know, you don't know what's going to happen to the soil. Something can happen to the soil and make it useless either permanently or for a while.
Yeah.
A good example of permanent is, hey, what just happened to Ohio with that chemical that became a forever chemical?
Well, I grew up growing our own food, but I'm in a different location now. Where I grew up was direct sunlight. We had plenty of cleared space. Here, I'm going to have to work around shadows and shade. So that's a new learning experience for me. What will work in the lower and direct sunlight and in shade? It's my house, you know. Back of the house is shaded. The front of the house is bright and wide open, you know. It's a learning curve. Everything is a learning curve.
Yeah, Shadow Scout, you're right. You're right. I grew up. My dad was a farrier and a blacksmith, so I grew up with a couple forges out in the barn and stuff. And what's really interesting about this is my youngest son, when he's at scout camp, the 1 year they put in a forge, just for metalworking and stuff. He spent most of that week there learning about blacksmithing, about learning how forges work and stuff. And on his Amazon page, I got it. He shared it. I got it in there. He has all the components listed to make a good forge, and he wants to do it. But right now he's busy making money. He's working like double and triple shifts sometimes, trying to bring in all the money he can so he can move up here and do the stuff he wants to do. But he's learning what he needs. He's making the list of what he needs to do to be able to start experimenting in blacksmithing. And one of his favorite shows was Forged in Fire. He liked to watch them make knives and see what fails. Because I think that's one show where they show you the failures as well as the successes. So you can learn, okay, all right, that's something you don't do. This is something you do. Let's see what we got here.
Not only that, along with learning something, but put it into practice. Try it yourself. That's important.
Hey, Gil, I got to slide out.
All right. It's 10 o'clock. We've been up here for 2 hours. It's 9 o'clock your time, 10 o'clock mine.
Yeah, I got little ones that want me to go tuck them in.
Yeah, Understand. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank Steve and Bob and Wayne for coming up here and sharing some information with you. If you're not subscribed to these guys, check them out. I know back in the beginning, some of my wrenchers were throwing up the links to their channels and stuff. Corsair Trainers. You can
I'm trying to burn my channel down. I have a magic number. When my subs drop below that again, I'm done. So don't sub. No.
Sub. Everybody in chat, go out there and sub. Put him up. He's got to keep going. He's got to keep sharing the information. All right, folks. Well, all right. Thank you, Steve, for coming up here. Thank you, Bob. Everybody in side chat, thank you for your contributions and information you've been sharing out there. Let me grab my schedule here, bring it up on my other computer here. All right. So Friday night on the other channel, Camp Patton Family Compound.
Peace out, everybody. Good night.
All right. See you later, Bob. The topic for Friday night is networking, both local and long distance. And what have we been doing tonight? We've been networking and sharing information. Coming up on Monday, and of course I forgot, Thursday night here on Gray Man Prepping at 5 minutes to midnight Eastern time. We start the midnight ride, open chat, whatever, the people in the side chat can, bring it an interesting topic. We'll work on that and to dwell on that. Hang on, let's see catch up to what the side chat here is saying. All right. Making sure any good stuff over there that I don't want to miss it. Okay. Also, pros. Monday is going to be what we've been doing here. Unless someone comes up with more topics, you can email me at for topics and stuff. For both channels, email to Camp Patton Family Compound. There's 2 P's in Camp Patton, 2 T's, and I will work it into the list here if it's a good topic. So coming up next Tuesday here, this is sort of a challenge thing. Think about this. You can only have 25 types of canned food. I got way more than that, but it's so you can have tomato paste, diced tomatoes, tomato sauce. Well, there's three different ones right there. Tuna, ground beef, cooked ground beef in cans, whatever it is. 25 types of canned food only. What are they going to be? So that's what we're going to be talking on next Tuesday here. And as always, from now on Mondays and Tuesday, both channels, Camp Patton Family Compound on Monday, Gray Man here, we're going to be doing the giveaways, $5 Amazon gift cards. So on the channel membership on both channels start off at 99 cents. Channel members get on the wheel automatically. If you're on Gray Man Prepping here, I got 2 levels. I got rid of the 3rd level. I got 2 levels. If you're a member at the 2nd level, the Gray Man level, you get a 2nd entry on the wheel because you're paying a little bit more. That's the way that works. Just checking that. All right. Star is going live in 10 to 15 minutes, Star Homestead India. So anybody who wants to keep talking about stuff, I'm not sure what Star has planned, but we will go head on over there. And so let's see if Star, are you wrenched? Let's see. Is Star wrenched? No, Star's not wrenched. Star should have been wrenched. All right, Star, you can drop your channel link in there. So anybody wants to go over there and they can see, so just go ahead and drop your channel link in there. And so everyone, as always, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing, and most importantly, add more skills to make yourself more useful, more valuable, and able to take care of your family. All right? Take care, and hopefully I'll see y'all over on Star Homestead India.